Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting. I appreciate y'all being here at the channel today. And for our regular subscribers, I appreciate you being here. And for you folks that are finding us for the first time, for you folks that are new, please consider subscribing. And for everyone, if you find the information beneficial, please hit that like button as well. And then also to learn more about me, to learn more about my company and how we can help you grow and develop your business, check out the links below. Initially, I would suggest checking out our courses section, which you'll find the Gym Management Playbook. The Gym Management Playbook has been designed specifically, for you folks that are just entering the business, that are new to this, or maybe you're struggling at it. The idea behind the Gym Management Playbook is to help you shorten the learning curve and help you improve bottom line profitability. So, check out the link, go in there and look at it and see if it's for you. And then number two, for you folks that are looking to open new facilities, which is a lot of that happening right now, or if you're reopening, of course there's a lot of that happening. If you're reopening and you need funding for maybe more staff, more marketing, more equipment, things of that nature, click the funding link below to potentially qualify for as much as $250,000 in funding with no collateral. Now, our topic for you today, this is gym sales managers' worst nightmares, okay? The worst nightmares for a gym sales manager. So if you are a gym sales manager, take a look at these. Are any of these happening to you? And if they are, how can we fix them? If you aspire to be a gym sales manager, okay, be mindful, okay? How can we prevent these things from happening? Or if you're supervising, gym sales managers, what can we do to help make their job easier, simpler, more productive? All these things. So gym sales managers' worst nightmares. Number one on my list is, burnout of your sales superstar. Okay, burnout of your sales superstar. And, this can happen, okay, without us really intending it. I remember, as an owner, we used to run sales contests all the time. And we had one gal, she did great, and she would win that thing. When she was around, I think we had 4 locations at the time. And she was a top producer, and she got after it, and she hustled like nearly no one else. And she came to me one day, and she wanted to meet. And she was asking me, Jim, can you please stop doing these contests? She goes, they're wearing me out, okay? And at the time, I'm thinking, well, heck no, okay? I want to keep you pushing. And yes and no, okay? What we're trying to avoid here, we don't want burnout of our top people. We want to keep our people, okay? And so some comments I would make on this issue of burnout is treat your staff like you would your best customer. I mean, we want to nurture our staff. We want to help maintain interest. We want to help maintain desire. Maybe things like flex scheduling, can make it easier for them sometimes. Okay, being mindful of kind of where they're at with this, but we don't want to burn them out. We want to keep our people there. And one of the secrets to these places that really do well is they keep their best people there, and they keep them there long term. Okay, and what I've always found to be true is let's treat our staff like we treat our best customers. Let's nurture our staff just like we nurture our members. We want to make this a fun, uplifting environment. Okay, nothing wrong with high expectations, but if they start feeling that pressure of it, that's a little different animal, particularly in the reasons they may feel it. So burnout of our sales superstars, let's be mindful of it. Doesn't mean we're gonna, coddle them, so to speak. Okay, we still have high expectations. There's still a push there, if you will, but we're mindful that we want them here long term. Okay, because if they're a top person, they have options. I mean, everybody's a free agent, right? I mean, there's other places they can go, other industries they can go to. Let's make sure they want to stay with us, and let's create that environment. And it really kind of leads to something else, is what we're trying to do as a manager of any department. What our core job description here is we want to create an atmosphere that allows a motivated person to act, okay? And so we're trying to avoid that burnout. Okay, and sometimes also, I could probably talk on this topic for a bit. Sometimes on this burnout, if this is happening to you, sometimes we lose focus of our why. It's all now, make the sale, make the sale, make the sale. That's really not our why. Okay, the why might be, hey, you want to take your family to on a nice vacation. Okay, you want to be able to buy school supplies. Whatever it might be. Okay, but stay focused on your why. That can help overcome some of that as well. Gym sales manager's worst nightmares, number 2, administrative tasks kind of take over your time. I see this one frequently, is people that are, gym sales managers, and in most cases, how the heck did they get the job? They're good in sales, okay? And sometimes we bog them down with too much admin work. And so if you're the boss over that gym sales manager, let's don't overburden them with paperwork. Let's find somebody else that can do it. And if you are that gym sales manager, learn to delegate. If somebody else can do this, delegate it. If somebody else can do it, delegate it. Really, it's as simple as that. Now, it's not always as simple to do. Sometimes we get kind of controlling. We want to do all this. But if you can delegate it, delegate it. I mean, sometimes trying to do all of that and then everything else, it goes back to number 1. You kind of start getting your own burnout going on if you're not careful, okay? So administrative tasks take up too much time. If you're the boss, let's work to eliminate as much as we can, okay? Some's going to be necessary. But if you're that sales manager doing it yourself, if someone else can do it, let them. Number 3, gym sales managers' worst nightmares. Hiring a dud, okay? And, hey, I mean, when you bring people on board, we need for them to produce, right? It's the name of the game. It's like, in sports. Hey, if you're on the team, you got to get the hit. You got to produce, okay? Hiring a dud, okay? And so the first thing that I would suggest on this is, let's have a plan in place to hopefully avoid this, okay? And, maybe it's your recruiting, you're always recruiting, you're always looking, you're always interviewing. Nobody gets hired. Think about it. Until they've gone through a little training format with you. Okay, it could be a 3 or 4 day training where they have homework, they have to role play. I always like for it to be when someone is hired, when they walk in that front door, they're ready to do the job. I mean, they can take a phone inquiry, they know how to log it in, they can work the software, they know the sales process, they know what the second sale looks like, they know what follow-up looks like, they know what the outbound call script looks like. They're ready to go to work, okay? I don't want them proving themselves on the job because that can be costly. And sometimes if they don't have success right away, their confidence can dip and all of a sudden you have a dud when maybe you didn't have to. Okay, but hiring that dud, that's a nightmare because now you got a hole in the operation. Okay, so get a process in place. For some folks that really have not done a lot of training, struggle with that, we've got a 7-day jump start we've kind of come up with to help jumpstart folks. Okay, and you can think about things like that can maybe get folks ready, but I like that full 4 days worth of training. And there's a lot of ways to do it. You can check other videos here on the channel where I've talked about how we've done that, with my clubs and of course with client clubs as well. But hiring a dud, boy, it's a sales manager's nightmare. Having that hole in the operation is tough. And if you are that dud, I was that dud for a while. I was that dud for about 30 days when I was hired, and I was absolutely committed to making it work. And the biggest thing I did, I became a student of this. I became a student of sales and a student of how this was done. And I literally memorized the book. And to the point that there's nothing you were going to say or do that was going to stump me. And sales went through the roof, and I had really no clue why, but in retrospect, that is why. Okay, I became a student. So if you are that dud, become a student of this. Use this channel, every day. Take in 2 or 3 or 4 videos, and every day, become better at this. Number 4, hiring a gremlin. Let me tell you what I mean by this. That there's nothing worse, I think, then you've hired somebody and they really are good in sales, but they are disruptive to everything else. That's a nightmare, okay? And at the end of the day, you can't have it. And, one of the things that I find to be true, sometimes it's what they might refer to as addition by subtraction. You might have this gremlin, they're great in sales, but man, they're disruptive at so many levels. You let them go, in many cases, I've seen production improve because attitude improves, inside the business. And assuming we train folks and we have, full staff in place. But you know, if you have that, don't find yourself, the message I would give you here is, if you're the manager or even the owner, don't find yourself being held hostage by this. You know, I see a lot of gyms that will keep this person around because they're making sales, even though they're disruptive, because they'll say, well, I don't have anybody else that can make sales. And that's a road that's going to lead you to nowhere. And so you want to get a process in place where you're recruiting, you're interviewing, you're hiring, you're training, you're developing, and you're bringing people in on a regular basis. I mean, generating, personnel, this is every bit as important as generating new members. You want to have that same plan of action in place. Okay? So if you have that kind of person, it's not going to be a long-term success story for you. Not from my experience, anyway. Okay, and you want to get a process in place to really develop. Now, if you are that person, okay, if you can see it, make a change. Because if you're good at this, there's a great opportunity here for you. Okay, don't be disruptive, to the team. Be a good team player. Be a good team player. And then number 5, sales managers. Gym sales managers' worst nightmares, losing focus. That gym sales manager that loses focus. And a couple things I would comment on this for you gym sales managers that may find yourself, in this situation. First of all, don't lose sight of your powerful why, your super objective. Why is this important to you? Why is it important to you? Feed your family, buy a new home, put food on the table, vacations. Maybe you want to learn the business so you can open up your own. Okay? What is that super objective? Don't lose sight of it. But then also, make sure you're writing a plan of action. When you sit down and write out this plan of action, it does give you a sense of having control over this. Okay? And honestly, it's one of the most biggest common denominators that I see when I talk to clubs and go into clubs that are struggling and not performing, is there is no plan. There is no strategy how to do it. They're simply winging it, and they become a victim of circumstance. But when that happens, it's easy to lose your focus. You're all over the place every single day. So stay focused on your why. Stay focused on writing a plan of action. Stay focused on your to-do list and making decisions to get things done. Do these things every day. This will help you stay on target. So 5, gym sales managers' worst nightmares. If you're the boss, help them. Okay? If this is you, let's take a look at some of these things and how can we fix it, because these things are real. And then if you aspire to go this direction, be mindful of it, and maybe we can avoid these things completely once you get in. I want to wrap up with one final thing on this. Is I was speaking somewhere, I can't even think where it was. It was a lot of Q&As, and we had a little panel up there. And there was a club in the audience. They're very successful, and their manager was quitting. Their manager was leaving, and the question came from the audience. Hey, what do I do? How do I handle this? Okay, and the answer that I gave them was this. Okay, is what our job is, no matter where we're at. Okay. Is we want to be a resource center for folks. We want to solve problems for folks. And so even, worst nightmares for gym sales managers, hey, if you're a gym salesperson, how can you help that situation? Okay, how can you help solve problems? I remember as a gym salesperson myself, and comments that were made to me, I don't know that I was thinking this through. I'm pretty sure I wasn't. But they said, Jim, what we like best about you is every day you come in with a great attitude, ready to go. And it sets the tone for our day. Okay, I was helping that sales manager, that assistant manager. Didn't even know it. Okay, so if you're that employee, just know you do have an impact there. So one more thing to think about, maybe there's 6 things in there that can help you. So folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. Very much I appreciate you being here today. Again, if you've not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. If you find the information beneficial, as always, please hit that like button. And again, check out the links below to learn more about my company and different opportunities, how I can help you. And while you're down there, check out the email link. You can join our email list to get updated on new information and things that are happening in the fitness industry. Look forward to seeing you all in that next video.